You know what they say, if you want to score big in a certain aspect of life, you should follow in the footsteps of the people who already have. And yes, that applies to investing as well. Here, we're going to take a look into 5 things you can learn from the smartest investors. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. Number 5, conviction is key, Bill Gross. PIMCO is one of the largest bond funds in the world and was co-founded by Bill Gross, who was the firm's chief officer before he resigned in 2014. What Gross tells new investors is to focus on their portfolio management. Do you really like a particular stock? Put 10% or more of your portfolio on it. Make the idea count. Good ideas should not be diversified away into meaningless oblivion, said Gross. You see, one thing that all smart people do is to make use of diversification, which means that they don't put all of their eggs in one basket. But keep in mind that it can also mess with your profits if one of your picks decides to do something big while the others don't. You should know that hitting it big in the investment business has a lot to do with taking risks, so always keep some cash aside when such an opportunity arises. Number 4, let the winners run, Dennis Gartman. If you're familiar with the Gartman letter, then you probably know who Dennis Gartman is. If you don't, then let me catch you up to speed. Gartman is a well-known trader and a regular guest on financial networks. The Gartman letter is basically a daily commentary of the global capital market that's delivered to hedge funds, mutual funds, brokerage firms, as well as trading and grading firms all around the globe every day of the week. According to Gartman, one should be patient with winning trades, be enormously patient with losing trades, and remember, it's quite possible to make large sums trading or investing if we're right only 30% of the time, as long as our losses are small and our profits are large. What Gartman means to say is that investors shouldn't sell as soon as they start receiving profits and should rather let the winning trades go on. Also, letting a losing trade go away is a no-no, as the best investors in the market are fine with losing some money, but not too much money. Number 3, put in the research, Warren Buffett. One of the richest people in the world, Warren Buffett made a lot of his fortune through investing. Not only that, Buffett is also a teacher. His yearly letter to new investors in his very own company, known as Berkshire Hathaway, is used in the college finances of the biggest institutions in the whole wide world. Needless to say, the influence he has over the global market is unreal, so when Buffett talks, you listen. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. The 2 golden pieces of advice that Buffett has to offer to new investors is that they should first take a deep look at the quality of the company they're eyeing and then see whether its price matches. How you should examine the quality of a market is by doing research on its financial statements, tune into its conference calls, and also test their management. If you think that the company checks all of the boxes, then and only then should you put your money into it. Number 2, patience is the way to go, Prince Al-Walid bin Talal. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal is a big name in the world of investing who founded the Kingdom Holding Company in Saudi Arabia and is Citicorp's largest shareholder. The prince always says that he isn't a seller, but is in fact a long-termer, which is to say that when others have sold, he decides not to until a very good opportunity comes his way. He did just that in the late 90s when Citicorp was under fire, and instead of selling all his shares and getting himself out of the situation, Prince Al-Walid decided to hold on to his investments, which ended up pretty well for him. Number 1, always be wary, Carl Icahn. Carl Icahn is without a doubt one of the most iconic investors who have ever stepped into the market. The activist investor and modern-day corporate raider has a thing for buying huge stakes in companies and trying to get his hands on voting rights just so he can increase the shareholder value. His holdings include Clorox, Blockbuster Video, Time Warner, and Yahoo. One advice of Icahn, which many investors take to heart, is that when investing, you should keep everything professional and not let it get you on a personal level. You see, in the world of investing, one is bound to make business foes along the way. What you shouldn't do is take the actions of investors against your business to heart. But remember to always keep your guard up. Your so-called friend could also be working against you by giving you bogus suggestions which could lead you to losing company. However, keeping your guard up doesn't mean you should get paranoid. Always act upon the rigorous research that you've done and base your opinions upon cold hard facts instead of opinions. Never invest in something just because someone tells you to without providing good evidence on why you should do so. If you're also thinking of dipping your toes into the investing game and already have done so, then learning a thing or two from the smartest players will surely do you good.